On August 10th of 2019, 66-year-old Jeffrey Epstein was found unconscious lying in his jail cell at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in New York City. He was taken to a nearby hospital where he was later declared dead. The following day, an autopsy was performed by the New York City Medical Examiner's Office. Barbara Sampson, who serves as the chief medical examiner of New York City, declared Jeffrey Epstein's death a suicide. However, not all those involved agree. One of those persons who disagree with the findings is a man by the name of Dr. Michael Baden, who was the former chief medical examiner of the city of New York and was also made famous by an HBO series entitled Autopsy. Dr. Baden, who is an independent pathologist, was hired by Jeffrey Epstein's defense counsel to observe the autopsy. It is in Dr. Baden's opinion that the findings of the autopsy were far more consistent with it being a homicide rather than a suicide. While reading over the notes of the autopsy, he noticed one of a couple striking things about the case. Among those was the broken hyoid bone in Epstein's neck. The hyoid bone is a horseshoe-shaped bone situated in the anterior midline of the neck between the chin and the thyroid cartilage. In his years of expertise in strangulation homicides and suicides by hanging, it is rather difficult to exert that much pressure to break the hyoid bone only by using one's own body weight. However, it is other pathologists' findings and opinions that as we grow old and age, the hyoid bone becomes weakened, thus making it possible to break it with just using one's own body weight via hanging. At the end of the day, the only person who knows the truth is one man by the name of Jeffrey Epstein. And here we are at the IJS Star of David Cemetery in West Palm Beach, California. Beautiful weather today, about 76 degrees, about a 10-mile-an-hour wind coming out of the west. And we are here to visit the unmarked grave of American businessman and serial pedophile, Jeffrey Epstein. I'm pretty sure most of you have already heard his story. There was three things that Jeffrey Epstein loved in life: underage girls, money, and more underage girls. This guy was a pedo for sure. And he was found, quote, unresponsive. I love that word because it is so overused in today's vernacular. Back in my day, we used to call it dead. Now it's called responsive. There was many people associated with Jeffrey Epstein, many famous names. Of course, Bill Clinton, Prince Andrew, Kevin Spacey, Chris Tucker, Naomi Campbell. What? Naomi Campbell? Naomi Campbell. Well, when you are a rich person and you have your own jet, because private jets are very expensive. If you are a celebrity and you know somebody with their own private jet, oh, you guys are best friends. You guys are best friends. Most definitely. A lot of people, including even Donald Trump. And even though the news media outlets, CNN, MSNBC, CBS, all of the news media outlets tried valiantly, and I do give them credit, valiantly, to try to associate Donald Trump with Jeffrey Epstein's pedophile island and try to see if any of his names are in the flight logs, to no avail. They were friendly with each other in the 80s and 90s, had a falling out. One person says it was a business deal over some real estate in West Palm Beach that Trump outbidded Epstein for. Trump says that he made some overly sexual suggestive notions, if you will, to a masseuse, exposed himself, and he got kicked out of Mar-a-Lago. Case being, they haven't been friends in the last 15 years. So anyways, enough about that. Looking straight ahead, if you see those two blank walls right here, the walls to the crypt of this mausoleum right here, that would be where Jeffrey Epstein is located. His parents, Pauline and Seymour, are buried right here, or excuse me, interred right here. And Jeffrey Epstein is interred right here. Now, because of them or the public finding out where they were, they removed their nameplates to prevent vandalizing by people or what have you. It is very well known. A simple Google search or DuckDuckGo, whatever search engine you choose to go about finding information on the internet, could easily find that he is, in fact, here. Now, am I 100% sure that they're still there and that they were possibly buried somewhere else out here? That could possibly be the case. However, there is no proof of any recent burials. I've looked around here for about a good 45 minutes. I don't see any burials that were very recent, and the ones that I did see already had tags with the names of the people that were buried there. So me personally, I feel that they are still interred in this mausoleum. It's very, very, very expensive to be put here. It could cost upwards of $250,000. I don't know exactly if the family paid that, but very, very expensive to be put right here. It's prime real estate, if you will. And Jeffrey Epstein, 2 days before his death, in his will that was witnessed by his attorneys, he left the executor name of his estate to his brother, David Epstein. It was his only living relative. So right now, he did that. He put it into a trust that is controlled by his brother, more than likely. I don't have proof that his brother controls it. However, because of the way that he did the trust, nobody knows exactly how much money's in the trust. Nobody exactly knows who is in charge of it. It's pure speculation. And he did that to prevent his quote unquote victims from being able to sue and get any of their money. But of course, it's estimated well over $500 million, upwards of $550 million is in that trust. And I'm just going to go ahead and guess, being that his brother was his only living relative, that's how much money's in there. And it's going to be very, very difficult for the victims of his crimes to try to get any of that money. It's going to be years and years and years and years before that. It could be upwards of a decade. Who knows at the end of the day? The Daily Mail had reached out to Jeffrey Epstein's brother, David, to confirm the fact of if he is actually interred in this mausoleum. And he said, quote, "It's none of your effing business." Sounds like a nice guy. Sounds like a guy that actually needs to be investigated himself, having ties to that island as well. But anyways, I am neither here nor there. I digress about all of that. This is where Jeffrey Epstein might possibly be. Anyways, that is about it. Whether you believe that his death came from his own hand or not, I guess I'll let you decide that. At the end of the day, who knows? Anyways, guys, I'll catch up with you on the next vlog. Take it easy. Peace out.